Hi guys, welcome back to World of Mike. Today we're going to be doing the HMS Bounty Stage 3 of Pack 1, and this is going to be quite a tricky issue because we've now got to glue board 9 against this. The difficulty we have in this session is that gravity is against us because obviously we've glued these parts in and underneath we've also got the feet for it. So if I bring up, we're only going to be doing that stage 3 today, but basically if we pick this up, you can see that it's on like a little platform thing. As you can see, if I said again, you can put this basically underneath there and it would slot basically underneath, as you can see. So it slots under there. The problem we've got here is that by us gluing this, I'm going to have to get this right the way up as best I can. The problem we've got is we've got to basically join this to that, but you can see that we've got a lip here. So the problem we've now got is, as I said, we've got gravity against us. So we know that from previous that that's going to be several inches off the workplace. We've obviously got to glue that, so we're going to have to do clamp either way. The other problem we've got is that we have nothing to support it from this side because this clamp is far too, it's definitely not going to reach that way. So we're going to give it a go and see how we get on. It's quite a easy, fair enough, easy stage, but it's just going to have to be a clamp. We might have to use the big beast, which is this one, and this one. I actually got quite a lot of these. Brilliant deal, it's like a £5 for a massive pack. So what we're going to have to do is obviously get some of this glue, and we're just going to have to see how well it pans out. Obviously it's quite a tricky substance because, it's quite tricky because, as I said, we've got gravity against us here. So obviously it's going to be a case of it could bow, it could start to, break away from the glue. Oh gosh, getting it all everywhere, but that's fine. I'm not fussed. Wood glue is very easy to get off, as I said. So the problem we've got here is obviously we've got to connect that there, and as I said, gravity is against us. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my masking tape to act as like a little, actually that's a little bit too big. We need something big enough that can hold it underneath here. For example, that would be perfect, this little watch box. Okay. In that case, we'll use this part because I don't keep that. We can use that. If we clamp that there, if we just rest that, what we can do is if we rest that underneath there, we just hold that there, get that into alignment, and then we clamp it at this edge as well. So we'll clamp that there. Then what I can do is I can put this little part underneath here. As I said, I don't use these, so I don't keep the packaging for the watches, so this is great because that will act as like a little bed for it, and if we rest that underneath there, that should get us a little bit of alignment there. So that's perfect. Okay. The other thing what you can do is there are screws here. Now what you could do is you could unscrew this clamp, put the bar through here, this notch here, and then you can clamp it shut so that both them are sort of, as you can see, if I was to put that down that hole, I could undo that, screw it from underneath and clamp the middle shut. Personally, I'm not going to do that because I do think we've got quite a lot there. And as I said, what I'm going to do is very similar again. I'm going to get some of the glue and I'm just going to smother it over and smother the seam. Doesn't matter if there's a lot there. This is basically creating a seal, and it will dry very similar to this. Remember that this is only the shipyard, so you're not going to see all of this. But basically, it just creates a little seal for it. Now, obviously, that's how we're looking at the moment. The great thing is about this is it now completes the foundations of the shipyard. So what we've got here is obviously, as you can see, this is where we are up to. We've glued board 9, and then it just goes into that we've glued all the boards together. And then obviously the next stage, it will be reinforced, because once this is glued, we then put 2 more support beams in, which is 3 and 4, which will clamp that shut. And then obviously we've got another one that basically marries up, which I suppose is these ones, but they're just showing us in there that we've got clampage all of there. But remember that this is basically clamped from underneath. So once this is dry, what will happen is we will flip this over, and that is where we then secure these boards underneath. So yeah, we are at another stage. So next week we will you will see us clamping this in, but obviously, as I said, this does need time to you know, seal and that. And as I said, I'm not too fussed about that. You know, I'm quite happy for that to sit there and seal. This will need to dry overnight and stuff like that. It's quite a fast-paced dry PVA, but obviously we need to get some support there for it. So obviously that's the way to do it, I think. I'm gonna look into these. We haven't had an opportunity to use these yet, but I'm gonna look into ones, because there must be a bigger version that you can get, a bigger bar where we could, because the aim of it would be to clamp it from, say, there, and then the other part ends round about here. So I'm going to look to see if they're a little tiny on these basically are ones for sort of, I would say, like the keel and that sort of thing. But if we can get another bar that can stretch from there to the end of there to just hold it shut, and then probably get another one from that edge right the way up to here, that would be great. But that's where we are at the moment, guys. As I said, we've not really had an opportunity to use them yet, but you know, they will come in handy at some point. So at some point they will come in handy, and we'll be able to use them. But until next week, that is the Bounty Pack 1 Stage 3, I think I said it was. So yeah, what we've got to do now is just wait for it to glue, dry, and just hope that it's got enough strength behind it. As I said, I would have liked to clamp going from there to compress it. As I said, like, if we could find a way of putting that at the end of here to then go up to there, and it will jam it. But as I said, what you can do, remember that there's a spring mechanism under this, but if you're careful, you could probably take all that off, put the bar through here, and then what that will enable you to do, if you put it through that one, you can then clamp it shut and sandwich it, and then screw this on from underneath. It's easy to do, but I'm not going to do that yet, because obviously I think we've got enough clampage there for it, but only time will tell. So we'll see you next week for more of the HMS Bounty, brought to you by D'Agostini, and yeah, we'll see you next week. Hope you like that video. Please remember to like, share and subscribe. Remember to tap the bell if you want to be notified of all the videos I do, and I'll see you next time. Bye.